We're here talking to Ms. Alex, and we're also talking about financial education for millennials and money. And I'm glad she's asking me when she's very young, because one of the biggest mistakes, I still hear it today from young people. Oh, I don't have to worry because I'm still young. Yeah, and that is death to most people, because eventually you get old and then you're not young again. There's a way of saying, when I talk about assets and liabilities, one of the most important things you have in your life is time. It's one of your greatest assets, or it's your liability. And being, I just turned 70, and I have friends who have nothing. I mean, they have zero. Now they've made a lot of money, but they have nothing here. They have nice houses, nice cars, 16 wives, 19 kids. I don't know what they have, you know what I mean? And being young is great, except it can be a liability to you. Because when you're young, you're just having a lot of fun and life's exciting, it's new. So at the time, but the thing is, this is the lesson today.
Good morning, everyone. How are you guys doing today?
Good morning.
Sorry, I did not mean to tease
Morning.
you. I did not mean to tease you guys with Robert Kiyosaki. We'll get back to that in a second, but I wanted to just kind of lead with that. How's everyone doing today?
Excellent.
Awesome.
Good.
To hear, guys. Good to hear. Good to hear. We'll get started in just a sec. We're just gonna see how everyone's making out, how everybody had it, if anyone had any wins over the weekend, any stories you guys would like to share. I'll open up the mic. Guys, don't be shy, please. If you're new here, also you can introduce yourself, or whoever invited you can introduce you.
Hi, I'm Jeanette.
I know you. How's it going?
Welcome, Jeanette.
It's good. I'm good. I'm good. Thank you. How's everybody else?
Good. Thank you for joining us today.
You're welcome. Anytime.
I think Ivani invited you, right?
Yes, she
Hey,
did. I'm
Vanya.
here.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning,
Good
sweetheart.
morning, Vanya.
Hello, good to see you.
Ivania, you've been doing really well this year and for the last probably 2 years. And you're always messaging me with different situations. You got anything good to happen over the weekend? Because I know you were taking a new listing. Anything you want to share?
Yes, good morning, guys. I hope everybody had a good weekend. I have a new listing, and we always talk about follow-up in real estate, and I keep hearing it, but it hasn't been until this year that it has really clicked. I have actually a new listing for my client that I have been working on since November of last year. So don't give up, guys. It actually takes a lot of times, and you actually have to build a relationship with people before sometimes they decide to list with you. But I actually have 3 listings in the market from this list that I have been working since November, and all of them I'm helping them sell and buy.
Congratulations. That's awesome, girl.
Good for you, lady.
That's pretty awesome.
Just
That's
keep
amazing.
calling.
Harass them.
Pretty much.
Just keep them interested,
Yes, every month just saying like, hey, how are you? They start, once they open up to you, they tell you about everything. So, just follow up with them. How's your dog? Anything. Just make sure you send them a text once a month.
At least that, right?
Yes.
Good morning. How's everything? Are we still searching?
Yep.
What's up?
Yep.
Things coming out.
That's amazing. Anyone else want to share? Any guys have any good stories?
Well, I
Who
have one.
Who has one? You got one?
Already.
Go for it.
I find my first listing. Oh, this gentleman's talking. Okay. Go ahead.
No, I don't think anyone's speaking, just you.
Oh, okay. So I started about 7 years ago, and I didn't even have a listing like the office I'm in. It's like, I don't know, when you're new, you just feel like a child. You need to get guidance or whatnot. But I am a very persistent person. So I had my first listing right across the street from my house, from my neighbor.
Nice.
It was It was exciting because he is a numbers guy. He's all about the numbers, and he wants to sell highest and best in this market. Well, a while back, all right. And he kept trying to put like cheap stuff in the house, and I'm like, I mean, highest and best is you're selling quality of, you know, quality stuff in this house. So I am so glad he gave me a 5-star and an excellent work for me on my reviews. And I am like, God, he followed advice then.
Absolutely. Thank God. That's amazing. That's correct.
It
I
is.
have a question for you guys. Has anyone been taking up Alejandro on his accountability group for his 3 videos a week? I know there was a few of you who wanted to reach out to him directly. I'm not sure if anyone has. Alejandro, have you been keeping up with your 3 videos a week?
Good morning, Lou. No. Fortunately, yeah, last week I didn't do any.
Wow, man. Yeah, I guess we got to
that
get into a group, man. We got to start talking more because you inspired me, and I was like, you know what? Let me come back because Alejandro put me on the spot.
So I did it at the first 2 weeks, and then you know, life happened, and that's what I was gonna ask you. How do you keep motivated when life is not doing that good? How do you keep motivated?
What do you mean when life doesn't? What life isn't like? You mean you're busy? Or
You
you
know,
just have,
like, you know, you just get like, you know, family in the hospital, this and that, you know, like life, like, you know, whatever.
Okay. Well, I think
and then
that's,
you know, you kind of get uninspired, and you don't really want to deal with videos.
well, to be honest with you, I think
how
that's
do
the
you
best.
keep yourself?
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I think I got what you said, but go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was trying to ask you like how I can keep myself motivated to do what I'm supposed to do, even though life just keep happening. No, that's normal. Life's gonna keep happening. So
I hear you. Well, listen, it's hard to put myself in your position or anyone else to be in anyone else's shoes. But what I will tell you is this much: when you go through events like that in life that are very tragic, there's a reason why you're going through it, and it might be to help somebody else that's going through that, or might go through that in the future, or might have gone through that in the past. I think that if you can make a video, maybe not divulging all the personal details about what your family's going through, but you know, maybe what you're going through and how, you know, seeing them not in good health, or maybe seeing them maybe pass, has affected you and how you're dealing with it. Number one, that's going to humanize you to the level that you never could have imagined before. People are going to find you more relatable, and you're going to get more engagement and more content. I'm sorry, and more business from people that see that kind of video versus the, look at this new car I just got. Thank you, God, for this new car since I've been selling 50 homes a year. You know, people can't relate to that, you know, because not everyone's selling 50 homes a year, or not everyone's an agent, but everybody has a mother. Everybody has a loved one. Everyone has experienced a loss in their life. So making a video about that, necessarily not having related with real estate, but how a real estate professional deals with crisis, you know, how you're still managing to deal with your business and care for a loved one, you know, and it doesn't have to be a scripted out high, you know, like high professional value, anything like that. It could be, you know, quick cell phone update video. Hey guys, I know you haven't seen me lately, but you know, I've just been going through some stuff personally, and I want to make this message for anybody out there who has lost a loved one or has had someone fall ill to the sickness or this disease. You know, you're not alone. I'm going through this, and if anyone has had this happen before, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. You know, a post like that coming from the heart is way more meaningful than anything you can ever come up with. Alejandro?
yeah,
Yeah.
I heard it. It makes sense. Yep. Well, be human, right?
Yeah, but it's not easy. I'm gonna be the first one to tell you that wouldn't be easy, but it's definitely worth it. But go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just
Oh, yeah,
wanted to
Yeah, sorry.
message to Alejandro. Right, Alejandro, my mom passed away last year, and I don't know if you're going through that, but all I can say, it won't be easy. If somebody passed in the family, it's not easy. But all I can say is take it one day at a time. It's a rough situation. It's a rough. It's not a nice feeling, but you have to take it one day at a time and try to focus on what you have right here, right now, what needs your attention.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, appreciate it.
Well, thank you, Alejandro. Appreciate that. You see, it's not easy to make a video on anything when your mind is not in the right place. So I totally understand Alejandro, because sometimes we don't make videos because we're too busy, right? Or we come up with another excuse like, oh, we don't put any content out there because, you know, my hair didn't look right that day, you know, or I didn't get my nails done, you know, like I don't know what kind of, or the lighting wasn't right, or I had a scratchy throat, you know, like we always come up with an excuse. But if Alejandro is looking at his situation and be like, you know what, how could I make a video even though I'm going through a crisis in my life? Like that should put everything else into perspective for you, that it doesn't matter, you know, what you look like, because you need to be more relatable. You understand that people that don't look perfect on camera all the time are more relatable. People want to see that. They want to see the real you out of bed with no makeup. They want to see the real you who hasn't had a haircut in a month. You know, they want to see you that's going through a life crisis. And, you know, not to say that we're going to use our our family members or situations that are going on that are tragic as a way to exploit those situations, but it's not exploiting it if you're doing it for the right reasons. Like if you're doing it as like, my mom just passed, but if you want to sell your house and you want to make me feel better, you know, leave a message down below. Like that's a straight up exploitation, obviously, of a situation. But if you're doing it because you're generally going through something and you don't know how to get it off your chest, but being transparent, because transparency really does take a lot of load off your back, because they say, you know, like in Christianity, like if you want to be healed from something, you have to divulge it. You have to be transparent. You have to give it to God. You know, you have to give it away because you feel like a big load has been lifted off your shoulders when you do that. So maybe you're holding something inside that, you know, that you're sad and, you know, you really don't know anyone, you know, that you could talk to. I'll be honest with you, man. Sometimes I've done that and I've spoken to the camera about situations where I'm not the happiest or I'm not going through a great time in my life. And then those videos and those segments end up getting the most support and the most comments out of everything. And because people, they really genuinely, they want to help, they want to be good, you know, they want to, you know, provide some kind of support to you. And then what happens when you do that is that you look at your audience and you're like, wow, the people that I create this content for really do care. They really do want to see me do well. They want to see me succeed. And then that gives you more motivation to continue making videos later when you're in a better place. You understand? So I think it's very important to be vulnerable. I did a video the other day, a couple months ago, I think it was like a month or two ago, about a legal situation that I was going through that really had me down. And that video got more engagement than any other video I've ever did. Zero production value, me walking in a park with a cell phone. That was it. And I've done videos that have cost me a lot of money, and I've used high production who not even gotten close to that kind of views or that kind of comment. So I would say, Alejandro, that there's never a bad time, but if you feel up to it, you know. So if you can use that situation and turn it into a positive, you're gonna come out better on the other end.
Luis,
Yeah, thank you,
I want
Lu.
to ask you something, because you said that when you share like personal stuff like that, you get a lot more
Engagement.
engagement. But I
Yeah.
have noticed that for me, it's the other way around. I have less engagement as far as like likes, but then people DM me and ask me questions like on messages. Why? I don't know why is that.
Why what? I'm sorry, I didn't catch all of that.
Why do you think people react that way?
React which way? So give me an example. Like you made a piece of content about something personal and you didn't get any engagement, but you got DMs, you got personal messages.
Yeah, so like that post wouldn't get many likes, but then people would reach out to me in a message, like instead of like a comment or a like.
Oh, well, that's unusual, because usually when people share personal, you know, experiences, you see the comment section pretty full, and you see a lot of like, you know, reactions on the videos. But if you're not getting a lot of comments on the video or on the post that you're putting out, I got to see the post individually that you're talking about, because it also depends on how you're delivering that message. But if you're getting people to DM you, you're still getting the result that you're looking for. But maybe some people are a little too how would I say, private, or maybe they feel uncomfortable, or maybe trying to relate with you on the comment section. Maybe they want to talk to you personally on a one-to-one level. But give me an example, like what kind of a video was it?
No, I feel like when I'm more personal, I guess less interaction than when I'm just more like
Business?
basic.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Has anyone else ever encountered that? No? Okay,
I haven't even started making videos, but
Got it,
I
got
don't
it,
know
got it.
about. I'm new to this. This whole thing is new to me, so I'm just
Got
gonna
it.
listen and here and there.
Yeah, please do. Okay, well, I'll be honest with you, Ivani. I would have to see it because it could be a case by case situation. But I've always seen even other people's content that when somebody shares something like personal, like a marriage or a baby being born or somebody passing away, or you being sick, I see a lot of people engaging with that kind of content. But a lot of times I see very highly polished, produced content that is unrelatable that gets kind of no traction. But it also depends on the size of your audience, because if you've got a big time influencer, let's say like Eddie G, the guy who owns the nightclubs, if he posts anything, he's going to have 1,000 likes and 1,000 comments just because he's Eddie G. It doesn't matter what he's doing. But for someone who is actually trying to build a business and start from the beginning, you really got to be strategic about what you're posting and how you're posting it, because yes, you got to stay on topic with your business, but there's also times to be vulnerable. So what I tell people a lot of times when you're creating content is that, hey, listen, every maybe one out of every 3 videos or pieces of content you put out have to be more human based. You got to humanize yourself. It can't be always business, because then people already know, like, oh, she's just talking to me about an open house. Oh, she's just talking to me about a new listing. Oh, she's just talking to me about how to buy a house. Like you got to almost mix it up to the point where they don't know what they're getting next. And if you could do both, if you can make your post entertaining and relatable, right? Then you've got a winning formula. So you got to humanize yourself, make yourself relatable, but at the same time, educate and entertain. If you could do all those 3, oh, you've got the trifecta. That's really where you want to aim to, but it's not something I can say, okay, just do it like this. It'll come to you because everybody's personality is different. So you guys will figure out a way to make it all fall into one.
Thank you.
Yeah, and when you get some time,
Oh,
I'll
sorry.
take a look at some of your content and I'll see what happened.
Hi, Lou.
Hey, Steph.
Morning.
How are you, sweetie?
Good. How are you?
Good. What's going on? Thank you for joining us.
Yes. I had a question actually in regards to that. I've had some content that I've done, and I guess more like in a personal level. I think I have so much content I haven't even uploaded, but because I think once it's like the editing, at least for me, because I got very involved into, and I know you know where I'm coming from, between the editing and audio, right? But I feel like where like it's kind of uploaded my audio is good, or like not my presentation into the whole makeup, hair, whatever, but it's just kind of like really making the human side, because that's really who I am. Like that's my personality. I just feel like that's really been my what's it called, where I've gotten stuck, and I just haven't really then posted. And it's not only been months, but it's been a year, because I used to love doing this stuff like videos, and I feel like the human side of that is just part of my personality again.
Yeah, that's good.
What is your advice on that?
So you were saying that you've been getting stuck, or you've been getting caught up on the video quality and the audio quality. You were cutting up a little bit. So if I'm
sorry, sorry, I stepped back inside. Yeah, so I've done content before, and I think I just kind of jumped in after Alejandro spoke. I don't know, I kind of missed that, but I guess for me it was very personal. I guess when my grandma had passed, and I had done like a video, and I just never uploaded it because I was like literally crying. I was like a little mess. But I felt like people needed to hear that. I just never uploaded it. But what I'm saying is like I got caught up in like making sure my audio at least is well, like it sounds well, because I feel like if you're doing any kind of content and if it doesn't sound well or at least look okay, what's really the point? I mean, at least that's been where I'm stuck,
Yeah, I understand. I know where you're coming from. A lot of people think that too. And it's really, at the end of the day, what it comes down to is people make a lot of, how would I say, we put a lot of barriers in our way. We make a lot of excuses why we're not ready. And you know the term, analysis paralysis, that I've gone through that same period in my life where I felt like everything needed to be perfect before I did anything. But to be honest with you, a lot has changed in the last few years, since we got started with video content, and I'd say 06 to, I'm sorry, in 2016 to now, a lot has changed. Number one thing that's changed that I see is that our phones are so good now. They're so good at shooting high quality content. They're so good at recording good audio. And I'll be honest with you, one of the biggest YouTubers in the world, Mr. Beast, I'm sure a lot of you guys know who he is. He refuses to shoot in 4K. He will only shoot in 1080. And if you knew the reason why, it's because he wants to be more relatable. He doesn't want to come off as too polished. So you shouldn't worry about that either. If your phone is shooting at least 1080p, you're in good shape. I'm sure everybody on this call has the capacity to shoot 4K on their phone. So don't worry about the video quality. Your phone is good enough. You just need to get in front of a good light source. Okay. And number two, as far as audio goes, if you're at arm's length distance away from your phone, your audio is going to be just fine. It's not going to be bad. Okay, so don't get caught up on that. And then the editing process. Right now, the hottest things out there, and I'm sure a lot of you know, the hottest things out there right now are short form content. Short form content is under a minute in length. So if you're
Sorry, somebody
I
has
just muted.
their mic on that I couldn't hear that.
I just muted Alejandro. I think he's at Home Depot. It's a little loud over there. Let me just see. Yeah. Okay. So right now, what I'll tell you is that right now, the hottest thing out there is short form content, anything under 1 minute, right? So the video editing software that's built into Instagram Reels, into TikTok, into YouTube Shorts, the video editing software is so easy to use. You could literally pick up your phone right now, record a video, edit it, throw a filter on there, put music over it in under 5 minutes. Never would I have thought that we could do all of that and make it look good. Never did I think we could have done that at that quality on your cell phone. Like I'm used to editing on Final Cut, on iMovie, like on the computer, something that's like, you need high capacity power to run. And we're doing these on our phone, and people are getting millions, tens of millions of views on these videos they're shooting on their cell phones. So, obviously your goal is not to get 10 million views, but your goal is to start putting content out today. But all of these content creators that are getting the tens of millions of views are not worried about, hey, do I have the best audio? Do I have the best video? A lot of the stuff you'll see online is just cell phone content nowadays. So don't get caught up in that stuff. I'll be honest with you. It's easy to do that. Even myself, I've been there, and I'm like, oh no, I got to have the best of this. I got to have the best of that. And you look at my YouTube channel, and my video that has the most views, almost up to 1 million views today, is the one that I shot on my cell phone walking on the beach. And I've got other videos that are so highly produced that are just sitting there with dust on it. So don't get caught up on that stuff. Just go out there and start making the content, and make it consistently, because that's what the platforms like to see, is that you're making consistent content. And then figure out what your hook is in the beginning, what your story is in the middle, and what your call to action is in the end. Okay, let me repeat that. Your hook in the first 3 seconds, why should I continue watching this? Your story in the middle, how am I going to continue having the person interested? And your call to action at the end, how do I get that person to engage with me? Do I want them to follow me? Do I want them to buy my book? Do I want them to buy a house with me? What do I want? So ask yourself these 3 questions before you make your next piece of content. Keep it under a minute, and then you've got yourself a winning video. So you continue doing that on a daily basis. Before you know it, in 6 months' time, you're a content queen. You're making content so easily that you're doing it within the first hour of your day, and then the rest of your day you're out there making it happen. Okay, and your phone starts ringing, your inbox starts flooding, and you've got more business than you know what to do with. Hopefully,
Thank you.
Did I answer? Did I kind of touch on what you wanted to hear?
Yeah, I think it's like that barrier, the analysis paralysis, where I'm like, okay, I got this, and then like I'll record, and like I don't even upload.
Yeah, and I know you knew that. I know you knew the answer was that. I know you knew it was analysis paralysis, but I think you needed to hear from someone else's perspective, and I needed to put it into perspective for you. What do you guys think? What does everyone else think on here? Do you guys care if your favorite video content creator is using 4K versus 1080, or is using the mic on their cell phone versus a you know, a $400 lapel mic?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah, and the quality, I'm telling you guys, the quality of the edits and the audio on these platforms nowadays is amazing. I'm like, I can't believe how good content looks on TikTok with just a quick little 5-minute edit. It's crazy. Right, Sarah? Sarah, if you
I
guys don't
love
know,
your videos. I love
Sarah's
your
crushing it.
videos, Lois.
Sarah's crushing it on TikTok, guys. If you don't know, go follow Sarah on TikTok. And see, that's how old I am. I'm such a boomer. I'm saying TikTok. On TikTok. She's consistently making it. How long does it take you to make a video, Sarah?
A minute.
A
Like
minute, right?
literally a minute. Yeah,
Yeah.
and just to fix it up and put it up like another minute. That's it.
Yeah, and it's not always about you divulging your life on camera. A lot of times it's about you shooting a house you just saw. Sometimes it's you with congratulations to a client that just closed, and then once in a while you
Yes.
throw your personality in it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You guys don't have to all be the next Gary V. You could be whatever you want.
Can I suggest something that I
Absolutely,
find
go
it
for
to work?
Go for it.
Thank you. I really find the private Facebook groups are very useful. I'm not sure if I mentioned this before or not,
Mhm.
but I did find a Palestinian private group. That's my background.
Mhm.
And I joined them. And since I joined them, I've been getting business from them. And right now I got a listing in North Bergen, and that's way out of my way, but I took it anyways.
Congratulations. Now you have to join
So
the
I
New
really
Jersey
thank
MLS.
the NJ, right?
NJ MLS. Yeah, yeah, good luck with that one.
And I know. I heard
Bergen
it's
will
not the
actually
best.
Be better on Hudson.
I think, yeah, Hudson.
Yeah, Hudson.
It's Hudson, New Jersey, and Garden State for that
Is
one.
that what that is? North Bergen, it's Hudson. What am I talking about? See, that's how long I haven't been in Jersey.
Wait, so it's not the NJ MLS?
It is, but you have it's more it has more how can I say, more capacity, and people list more for Hudson MLS because it's actually on Hudson County.
Yeah, you have to do Hudson and New Jersey, but you don't have to do Garden State if you don't want to, but the
Yeah.
other two you do for sure.
Yeah. That's why I love this
Yeah,
group.
thank
Look
you.
at that. This group is amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everybody's helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Yeah,
one
but-
thing, one
That's
thing about Hudson, if I'm not mistaken, girls, right, is if the
point.
property is not in Hudson and you list it there, you don't have to pay to list it.
Right.
Somebody's trying to talk.
I actually am not sure about that.
Can you
Okay.
repeat the question, Louis?
No, I said that if you have a listing that's not in Hudson County and you list it on Hudson County's MLS, they don't charge you for the listing because they want to get more properties on their MLS. I don't remember that from when we had the office, but go ahead. Is somebody talking?
I'm not sure.
All right. Yeah, I keep hearing like did you guys hear that too? Like a kind of like
Yeah, like an echo.
yeah, like an echo. Okay.
Actually, Joe, you guys had that listing on Hudson MLS. Did you guys get charged fees? The one in Bayonne? We
Okay.
can't hear you,
Who, me or Joe?
Joe.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
now.
No, we didn't have to pay a separate fee.
But did they charge you a listing fee? Because NJMLS and Garden MLS charges you listing fees.
No,
Okay. So they don't.
I didn't know they charge you a listing fee.
Yeah, you'll
Okay, so
get
it's
the
still
invoice.
same thing. They closed a while already, so they probably should have gotten it already. So you might be right, Louis. They probably still do not charge.
Okay. Yeah, I heard the mentor gets charged the fee instead of the agent. That's probably what happens.
I get so many fees.
Okay, someone on here says, are these considered reels? What we're talking about short form content. Short form content is anything under, I believe in most platforms, it's under a minute. Sometimes it's 3 minutes. And I think that's me getting that feedback when I'm talking. Right, you guys hear that?
A little bit.
Yeah, it sounds
I
really
hear
bad.
it too.
That sounds really bad. All right, yeah, so reels are just Instagram's version of short form content. But right now, the three main leaders in the short form content world are TikTok, Reels on Instagram, and you've got YouTube Shorts. And all of these three are huge opportunities right now because they're in competition. There's a battle going on right now to see who's going to win the short form content war, right? And if you guys can capitalize on that right now and start creating content for short form, you're going to get a lot of followers. You're going to get a big audience, which is going to allow you to then scale your business, right? So I used to think back in the day, and I told I remember having this conversation with Joelle when she was saying like, oh, we have to grow the social media platform before you can actually grow a business. I'm like, no, it's the opposite. You got to grow your business first, then you got to grow your social media. But she was 100% right, because once you grow an audience, right, it doesn't matter what your business is. At that point, you can create any business you want off of that audience, because once you got the eyeballs, the attention is really what you need in order to scale any business. So if you guys want to grow more of your real estate business, if you're looking to grow more of a coaching business or whatever you want to grow, you got to have those eyeballs first, build that loyal community, and then you can tap into that and show them what it is that you have of value. So right now, guys, it's the easiest time ever to grow an audience because they're all in competition with each other. So if you can find a way to create valuable content, you're going to grow. Instagram has changed their algorithm. TikTok has changed their algorithm to compete with YouTube to be more search-based. YouTube's trying to fight with TikTok to not become irrelevant. So right now, if you can feed those platforms with content that's good, you will grow like you never grew before. I had a short form video on YouTube that I posted what was it? I think on Friday or Saturday. And it got 21,000 views overnight from one day to the next. Never have ever had a video they get 20,000 views overnight in just one day. And I was like a 40-second video, 50-second video. And I'm thinking to myself, like, that's ridiculous, because just off of that one video, I gained 21 subscribers. And I'm thinking to myself, like, I've had videos that I've slaved over for days and weeks that have never performed that well. So right now, guys, is the biggest opportunity you'll ever have to grow on any of these platforms, but you got to make it consistent. Like Alejandro said, if you guys want to join an accountability group with him, and you guys want to have what is that called? A little private group where you guys can chat with each other and just keep each other accountable. Like, hey, I posted one today, and whoever doesn't post one at the end of the week, if the goal was 3 for the group, if you missed one, I don't know, maybe everybody has to contribute $10 or $20 for every video you missed, and then at the end of the, year, or at the end of the month or quarter, whatever you guys decide, maybe you guys take that money and donate it to your favorite charity or something, so that way everybody can stay accountable. You guys are rooting each other on, you get ideas from each other. I've seen people do this, guys, and blow up, no lie. So Alejandro, I'm not sure if you're up to doing something like that, running something like that, but I'm sure it would benefit you and anyone else who joined, who would also take part in that.
Yes.
Cool. Anyone else want to add anything? Because I want to show you guys something, but I'll let you guys comment if you guys have anything.
Louis, I really like your videos.
Thank you.
I'm a big fan.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I try to be relatable, and I try to build it into my life, because you see me
You
doing
got me back in the gym. You got me back.
Yeah, you know why I do that? Because fitness and health is such a big part of my life. And I'm like, why do I have to keep that out of my content? Like, because why? Because I don't want to turn my page into a fitness page, because I'm not fitness. No, I mean, what I've done there is I've found a way to marry the two, where I do my workout, but I'm giving you a positive motivational message for the day, and I felt like, what, that fits me. And I can get away with doing that on TikTok, because TikTok doesn't corner you into one niche. You can have, they look at each video individually, so if you guys are ever worried about, like, I can only talk about real estate, like, you don't have to. You can talk about multiple things and find a way to kind of tie them into each other. But thank you. I appreciate that, Sarah.
Thank
I
you.
can always count on you for a like and a comment.
Always.
Thank
I'm
you.
your big fan. I was following you for years.
Yeah, I know. That's how we came across. That's
Yep.
how you joined the group.
Yep.
And And then she wouldn't believe me when I told her EXP was the best thing ever. I'm messing with you. All right.
You will always come at me with that.
Yeah. Guys, if you're looking to follow me, I think Doris wanted to know. All of my social media across every single platform is Culture Estate. So any platform you go to, it's always going to be Culture Estate. All right, cool. All right, so I want to watch this video with you guys because it'll really tie into what we're talking about today. Let me go ahead and continue watching where Robert Kiyosaki left off. Okay, hold on.
Is so many people spend their time focusing here. They want to make a lot of money. And I can hear it in their words. They say, oh, I want a career. This is career. Okay, or I'm going to start my own business. And this is the chart here, which we've seen. This is the cash flow quadrant, book number 2. E is employee. S is small business, self-employed, or a specialist like a doctor, lawyer, web designer. B is big business, 500 employees or more. And I is professional investor. So when I was your age, I knew I wanted to get here. This takes time. This is the hardest, you know. This is where the big mega bucks are. And Kim and I are here. And the money is massive, but it takes time to get there. The big mistake I see young people make is they focus here. And the words are, I want to do what I love. That's the trick. You see, in real life, sometimes you have to do what you hate. Like people think I like to write books. I hate writing books. But it fills my purpose in life. It's not my passion, my purpose in life. Because my purpose was to get here. A lot of these guys get trapped here doing what they love. And as we've talked about on earlier episodes of this thing, you guys pay the highest taxes, 40% here, 60% in taxes here, 20% here, and then 0% here. So when I was before my 20s, I knew I wanted to go there, and it wasn't doing what I love. I had to learn what I didn't want to learn. I had sometimes to do what I hated. I had to learn about taxes. I had to learn about debt. I had to take classes. I had to learn about insurance. So I was doing a lot of things I hated doing so I could come over here. These guys never do this because they live that passion. I want that passion. The difference in passion is greedy. Purpose is for other people. So my purpose was to come over here so I could serve more people. Okay. So I have employees here and all this. I don't buy stocks, bonds, mutual funds, because as a professional investor, I can create my own assets. Okay. Any comments, anything so far?
Yeah, if you ask anyone, they all say they want to do what they love.
And they're talking about here. And this is where you get taxed.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and coming here, I was doing fine over here because I didn't have much money. The government takes all your money anyway, right? 40% in taxes, because nobody's going to sue you. You come over here, they sue. Okay. So I had to learn about lawsuits. I hated it. Well, I learned it. So the big mistake for young people is I'm going to do what I love, which is fine over here. But what do you love the most? What I loved my freedom. And I know it sounds greedy, but I love making money. I'd rather have a lot of money than no money. I've been both. I've been broke, I've been in down, everything, but I'd rather have a lot of money. So it was worth my purpose to get over here. The big mistakes I see young people making is here. You know, they think about what they want to do, what they love. And what I'm saying to you, the millennials right now, invest in what you love. There's a very big difference. In other words, think about this side first. Most young people, or should I say, short-sighted people, they think this is it or this is it. But this is the one here. So when I was your age, I knew that the assets I wanted to acquire, the richest people own businesses. Over here, these guys are small business, self-employed. You're self-employed if you can't stop working. I stopped working years ago because I have a businesses. Very big difference. It was painful, but I got there. So number one is a business. So when I was in my 20s, I knew I was going to do what it would take to school, study, learn about taxes, debt, insurance, accounting, lawsuits, and all this through business. Next is real estate. I love real estate. But most people can't do what I do because they don't have a business. It's catch-22. They don't have enough money to get over here. Your mom just made that switch because she's other people's money.
Yeah.
So the reason I make more money is because it's not what I'm doing what I love. I do sometimes what I hate so I can have the assets that I love. I love having a business. You know, if I didn't have a business, you wouldn't be here. Darren wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have a CEO and president. I wouldn't have accountants. I wouldn't have attorneys. So the business affords me the lifestyle I want. And then I invest in real estate. I've never gone past a piece of land or a building I did not love. And then what most people invest in from there is paper. And that's fine. That's stocks, bonds, mutual funds, savings, ETFs. Not my game. I don't love it. I actually hate it. But these guys, it's perfect for them to have paper, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, ETF, and all that, because they're focused over here. They want to do what they love. They want to climb the ladder. They want their career. They want this. I'll become president. You know, that's not what I wanted. I want to be a football star. But this is for the middle class here. That's fine. You can get rich here too. I just don't like it. It's not exciting to me. And then the last one are commodities. And the four basic commodities, a lot of commodities like food. Farmers get rich, a lot of them, they provide food, which is good. I invest in food. I invest in avocado farms, provide food. Oil, gold, silver. I love those things. I love avocados, you know.
I love avocados.
Yeah, I know. So I'm doing what I love. I love trees. I love plants, you know, things like this. So I'm doing what I love here, here, and here. I don't like stocks, bonds, mutual funds, ETFs, 401ks, IRAs. I think it doesn't excite me, you know. It doesn't. This excites me. So I invest in what I love rather than do what I love. And these guys do what they love, but most of them never get over here. You know, this is like Steve Jobs, Zuckerberg, Bezos of Amazon. They have all the money in the world. That was my plan. Any comments, any questions on that?
So as you mentioned, a lot of people are talking about how they want to do what they love.
All right, so let me stop it there for a second. If we have time, maybe we'll go back to it. But what are some of the key points or takeaways that you guys are getting right now from Robert's message there? What is one of the things that stood out to you the most? Don't be shy, guys.
Do what you hate.
Sometimes you got to do what you hate, right?
Yeah.
You guys are all talking about like, oh, I don't like making video because I'm uncomfortable. I don't think I look good in front of the camera. I don't know how to talk in front. Nobody did. I didn't. Robert didn't like to write books. I think Robert was like he was like, couldn't even, I think he was flunking out of school. And like, this guy's writing, bestseller books that have changed millions of people's lives. Come on, guys. So like when I heard him say that, I hate writing books, I'm like, this is the guy who wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad, who every single Monday at my masterminds in my office, I would have people saying, oh, the reason I got interested in real estate because of Rich Dad, Poor. I'm like, I owe this guy royalties because half my office is there because of Robert Kiyosaki. So like this guy has had an impact on so many people's lives and he didn't even want to do it. Imagine what you could do. Am I wrong, guys? Talk to me.
No.
You're right about it.
Yeah. What else are you guys seeing? What else did you get from his message?
It's not just do what you hate. He also said to do what's your purpose. And I did jot that down. And I guess if we all knew what our purpose was and know that that is different from what we love, then boy, that's the niche. He said when he wrote the book, he said he hated writing books, but he said he felt that it was his purpose.
Yeah, purpose over passion. That's true. Very true. Do you have any
One thing-
examples you could share with us, Belinda, on that? Like, in your life, like, what do you feel like your purpose is that you're like skating around and maybe not doing because you feel like something else is getting in the way?
Yeah, my journals.
Your journals?
I know that I'm supposed to be putting my journal content out there,
Hmm.
and I don't, because, and the reason why I say that is because I do hold a lot of individual life groups,
Mhm.
Here in the area. And that's something that I'm always asked.
Mhm.
When can I take this home? Can you give me material to take home? How are you moving and doing this? And that does get in the way of my real estate.
Mhm.
It really does. I do more on a personal side than real estate.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to learn to marry those two.
Good for you. Good for you. Thank you for sharing that. Anyone else want to share? Anybody have anything they took away from it or any examples they want to give us?
How he said being self-employed is not actually having a business.
Correct. Being self-employed is not the same thing as being a business owner.
Yeah.
Yes.
How is that? How is self-employed different from being a business owner?
When you're self-employed, it's like us, right? And I think that's one of the things I learned with the experience, why I like the company so much. We have the opportunity. We have opportunity to do other things instead of just chasing our next deal.
Mhm. Mhm.
Can I
Absolutely.
chime in?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so when you're self-employed, you still have to work for your business.
Yeah,
But when you're a business owner, your business will run itself while you don't have to be there.
correct.
Right?
Absolutely. Yeah. So let's look at the two examples. You can either be a real estate agent selling homes actively, or you can attract agents and you can have 500 agents selling homes actively while you're doing something else, maybe following your purpose. So like that's the difference between self-employed and business owner. Or if you just owned your own independent real estate company, or owned a publishing company, or if you owned a construction company, those are business owners, as long as you're not the one wearing every hat, because we also fall into that trap. I read a great book once called The E-Myth. I'm not sure if you guys have ever read The E-Myth, but it's an amazing book. I recommend it to anybody who is interested in business. Is that you got the plumber who works at a plumbing company and he feels like, I've been doing this for so long. I've got my master plumber's license now. I can run my own business, right? So they go from being a full-time plumber, making, I don't know, $30, $40 an hour, working for a big plumbing company. And then they go and they open up their own plumbing company on their own because they thought it was easy, because they saw it being done from the perspective of a plumber. And then they become the plumber, the accountant, they become the marketing manager, they become the secretary, they become all these other things, and they're working more, making less, and they don't know why. They don't understand, because they're not business owners. They just get a glorified job where they can have their own name on the door. And that's really where a lot of people fall into, is they don't understand that scaling your life from being a self-employed, or maybe even an employee, because self-employed says it all, right? You're employed by yourself. Okay. But when you become a business owner, a business has moving parts, has people in certain places where they are best use at. But if you're the person in every one of those places, believe me, I know, I've been there. I've been every person. I've been everything in a company. And it doesn't work as well as when you have the right people in the right places. You scale much quicker, you make more money. But you have to take that leap of faith, because most people get stuck at hiring their first employee. Your first employee will always be your hardest hire. It'll always be the most difficult one, because you can't get out of your own head. You don't know how many times I have discussions with real estate agents about hiring their first assistant, hiring an assistant or a VA. And I tell them, I was like, listen, you're gonna make it work. There is no way that you're not gonna make it work, because as long as you don't continue doing the things you give this other person to do, and you focus on the things that make you money, and you don't do the things that don't make you money, then you're going to make more money. Like, it's just a matter of time. If you give it enough time, you will make more money. But a lot of people, like, they're so short-sighted. They're like, I got to pay this person $300 a week, $400 a week. And I'm like, it's 1,200. Oh my God, that's like half of my mortgage. I don't know if I can afford that. But you have to build up enough reserves where you can afford to make your first hire. And then once you make your first hire, then you start making more money than you ever made before. And then maybe at that point, then you start thinking about the next strategic hire. One day we'll talk about strategic hiring, But a lot of us get stuck at that self-employed position to the business owners because we're scared to spend more money on ourselves. Let's be honest. That's what we're spending money on. We're spending money on ourselves because because you're quick to lay down $500 on some Tesla stock because you believe that Elon Musk is going to grow the company, or maybe EXP stock, right? Because you believe EXP is going to be better in the future. But when's the last time you laid down some hard money on yourself, right? To say, look, I know I can make this happen. Let me slap down, $300 a week on an admin because I know that I can do it. I know I will do it. You don't have any control over what Elon does tomorrow. You have no control over what Glenn does tomorrow, but you have control over what you do every single day. And we still don't do it. We still don't put the money into ourselves. We don't get the training courses. We don't go to the seminars. We don't invest in people in our business. We don't invest in marketing. We hardly invest in anything at all in our business, and we expect it to grow. But if you take the mindset of like, look, I feel that my business is the most valuable one on the planet because I know that I can do anything I want with it because I have all the say in my business. I'm going to invest all my extra money that I don't need for my survival into my business. And if you did that, guys, I'm telling you, you're going to be so committed to making it work. Because if you're paying for coaching like Sarah is, or if you're paying for leads like I know a lot of you are, you're going to be like, all right, well, my money's on the line. I got to make this work. Like the other day, I hired a social media coach because I know I can make social media content. But if I have a social media coach that's checking in with me every single day, hey, that means I'm going to make more content because someone's checking in with me. And it's worth it for me because I'm investing in myself. I'm investing in my future business. And I know that it's not going to be money wasted. You guys follow me?
Yes.
You're never too high up to invest in yourself. I think Michael Jordan used to invest millions of dollars in coaches when he was the best player on the planet. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Lois, I have a question. Are you a fan of the mailers?
Mailers?
To send out.
I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan in numbers. So if you send out mailers, make sure you do it for 6 months and then gauge what kind of return you got on that. So if they worked, great.
Okay.
If they didn't, then no. And I've talked to the one guy that you didn't introduce me. I met this one guy who sends out mailers and he sends out handwritten letters. And it costs him more to send out handwritten letters and then it does mailers. But the handwritten letters, he's gotten so many more listing appointments from, but he still continues to send out the mailers after like a year of doing it. And I'm like, hey, listen, if I'm looking at this from the outside in, I would say stop sending out mailers altogether and put all your money into these handwritten letters. He's like, oh, you're 100% right. I don't know why I didn't stop doing that a while ago. But I'm like, yeah, you got to, from time to time, you got to ask yourself what's working and what's not working. Because his mindset was like, oh, I got to be like Michelle Pice. My face has got to be seen all the time. I'm like, okay, what good is it if your face is being seen if no one's calling you? Right? I was like, would you rather your face be seen on a flyer or would you rather your face be seen on a lawn sign? He's like, on a lawn sign. I'm like, okay, then send out more handwritten letters. So he doesn't handwrite them. He pays a company to handwrite them. But still, I'm like, you got to sometimes look and see what's working, what's not. But go ahead, Sarah. I'm sorry, I went on a tangent there. But go ahead, ask.
No, it's perfect. I
why is
just wasn't sure. So I started my mailer 6 months ago.
Yeah.
And I was doing 460 cards out in Milltown.
Yes.
I didn't get anything back from it.
Okay.
I was sending it twice a month for 6 months. And then I asked people that use the mailers and they said it did take them time, but I have to continue with it. So now I just signed a new contract, but instead of sending out 460, I'm sending out 1,060.
Okay.
And I'm also sending to North Brunswick and Milltown. Do you think after the 6 months, if I don't get anything, should I just stop?
I think that you need to change something. So whether that's change your target demographic, who you're reaching out to, right? Because you can do data on who you're sending this to. You don't have to send it to every house. You can send it to anyone who has high equity. You can send it to anyone who has been living in their house for more than 5 years. You can send it to anyone who's in foreclosure. I would say that you're probably targeting a wide audience. And when you go wide, you get nobody. When you go narrow and deep, you get more. So it's either your audience that has to change or it's your vehicle that has to change. One of the two, not your real car. I'm talking about like the way you're delivering the information. So either your audience has to change or the way you're delivering that message to people has to change. or maybe both,
Okay.
maybe a combination of both. You do a better audience, and then you're like, okay, well, I'm just going to stop shotgunning and sending to everybody. I'm going to go just to these targeted people who have high equity, have been living in a house for over 5 years, and are over the age of 60, because I know that when I deal with these people, I always have a good turnout. So you target your audience very narrow, and then you do that, and then you start to get some traction, maybe, right? Maybe you start to now, out of every 100 mailers, you get 1.5 responses or 2 responses, right? So that's good. Now you're getting a 2% return rate, which is what you should be getting with mailers. All right, and then you're like, okay, well, I know I'm getting this kind of return with mailers. What if I targeted the same demographic, same everything, but I used a handwritten letter? What would I get then? Then maybe you go from 2% to 4%. And then you're like, all right, so I improved my vehicle. And now maybe you said, okay, well, now I know that these people who are responding to me, I'm going to get their data and I'm going to put them into a funnel. Then you start to really extract all the juice out of your leads, because now they're seeing your handwritten letters, they're seeing your flyers or whatever you're getting them with. Now they're seeing you on social media. Now they're getting your emails. Now they're getting your text messages. So now you're taking something that's very low performing and making it something that's now your ongoing marketing funnel for the rest of 2022, 23, however long you choose to keep these people in your funnel. But you have to be very strategic, and you have to be very forward thinking about your marketing, because if not, you're just throwing money out the window. Like, I feel like you should have only, now that you're renewing your contract, you should not only look at, okay, what audience can I change, but what does my ultimate avatar client look like? Do I want them to have high equity? Do I want them to be over a certain age? Do I want them to have owned it for so long? Like, all these things you could narrow down, and you can give that mailing list to your company that's sending them out, and they'll only send to them.
Got it.
Yeah, you know how to do
Well, I
this stuff?
want so the title company does everything for
Okay,
us.
good. Mhm.
The title, yeah. So with the 460 in Milltown, since I didn't get anything, that's why I wanted, like you said, to expand my audience and
Yeah.
kind of target a certain client.
Yeah.
That's why I raised it to 1,060 instead of 460.
Mhm.
But now you give me ideas that I should be also like hitting them from different directions as well,
Mhm.
not just the card that they're gonna receive every month.
Yeah.
Maybe I can get their phone numbers and cold call them as well.
Yeah. You got to give them a
What do
reason
you think?
to do that. Yeah, because what you could put into your flyers is you can put a QR code for them to find out what their home is worth, or maybe to find out keep track of the latest home sales in your area or something like that, or give them a call to action, a free call to action. That way you can exchange for the information, you get their info. So you got to start including that into your mailers, if that's where your goal is. And then you have a database of people to work from. And I would say, if you're just sending them out to every house in an area, that's not going to work, because a lot of people maybe they just bought. And why do they want a flyer from you? They're not going to be
True.
selling their home anytime soon.
That's
So
true.
yeah, that's what I would say. Target people who have owned their house for at least 5 years. Then you
Got
probably
it.
have a better return on your money.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Anyone else want to
Thank you.
throw anything in or help Sarah? Give you some advice?
I do. I'm sorry, Yvonne. I'll be real quick. Express offers. I got certified almost last year, and I revisited the course and came back in to do it. And they have a bunch of tools. So I'll make sure I download the mailer geographical math thing that they did. But I did mine before I came out here to Miramar Beach. Advertising using express mailers, using express offers as my getting into the listing. And I've already received on Friday, just doing it, I received 5 inquiries about express offers just to get me in the door. And that's all express offers is supposed to do, is help you get listings, giving you a extra nudge. So if you're not certified for that, that's a big game changer. I didn't realize really what it was when I took the course. I just took the course just to be certified. But now that I see the benefit of it, it's a good deal. And they have, it gets you in the door. It gets you that appointment.
Yeah, that's a
Thank
good
you.
point. That's a great point. I forgot to mention that sometimes the reason why you're failing is because of your copy, the actual words in your piece of mail that's going out. Because what Belinda's saying is that her her flyers are saying, we'll buy your house cash, right? So if your flyers maybe get straight to the point, because really at the end of the day, nobody wants to list their home, sit through it, watch everybody walk in and out of the house, and then negotiate with, with a deal, and then have to do home inspection. Like, nobody wants to go through that. But if you can tell them, hey, listen, we've got cash buyers that are willing to buy your house cash today, they're going to probably more likely to call you, because that call to action is much more powerful for the seller to say, oh, you can just buy my house cash. I don't have to go through the whole process of listening with an agent, because I hate agents until I meet you, then I'm going to change my mind, but that you got to at least get them to pick up the phone and call you or text you, whatever the call to action is. So I think that's a great idea, Belinda. That works. To be honest with you, that works for me. I run Google ads and people call me all the time, and they end up listening with agents when I tell them what I can offer them. So that is usually the first step.
Yeah.
It's the course online now, or do we have to wait for the classes to come up, Belinda?
No, just go. If the course is online,
Oh.
the course is online. Yeah.
They have
And they
have,
give you a bunch of tools.
yeah, they have a workplace. There's a group for Express Office that you can join, and they have all the links that leads you to the course. And because I just got certified not too long ago. And the good thing about Express Office as well, not only they provide cash offers, you don't have to do open houses. You can do marketing, but open house, you don't have to do a lot of that stuff. And I think Tammy is she on here? I
Yeah,
know she got
Alejandro is
certified a
too,
while
John
ago.
is too.
Oh, okay. Okay. So yeah, I'm learning a lot about that platform as well. So it offers a lot of benefits to it that can boost your business as well. So
Yeah,
Thank you
absolutely.
for sharing.
Yeah, awesome.
So I actually got 200 postcards the other day. I partnered up with one of my lenders. And if you guys want to, I can share the contact. I paid up like really nothing for 200 postcards, but I didn't mail them. I asked them to send them to my house because I kind of have a plan in mind. So I want to share it with you, Louis, and for you to tell me what to do. I was actually going to farm my 5 blocks from my house, because last year during the heavy rains, it rained really hard, and I got a little bit of water, thank God, but my whole block the next day was like the apocalypse. So the other day it was raining really bad, and you better bet I was on that window praying to God that the water wasn't gonna come in. So I was scared. So I know all these people share the same feeling. So I was gonna take those postcards and go door knock and introduce myself, because I haven't done that and I've been here for 2 years. But now that I'm hearing this conversation and you telling us what to do, so do you think maybe I should take those and just go to the expired listings in town and kind of do the same thing, just introduce myself and maybe not mention the expired, but just say, hey, I'm a realtor in town. I don't know. What do you suggest?
No, I suggest you knock every door in your neighborhood if you're going to do that, because building that face-to-face relationship, you just never know who that person may refer you to in the future. If I get a postcard in the mail, I'm going to throw it out. But if I have somebody who greets me at my front door when I was picking up my newspaper and talks to me about, what just happened last year with the flood, and I can relate to them, at the end of the conversation, you're like, oh, by the way, I'm a real estate agent right here in the area, and I'm trying to help, families either move into the area or sell. So if you ever consider or know anyone who's considering, please keep me in mind. Oh, of course, absolutely. You know what? My neighbor right over there, the one that you just knocked and nobody was home, they were telling me they want to sell. So now you're like, oh, the neighbor just told me that the neighbor wants to sell. So I got to come back for that one. So I will go and talk to everybody, the mailman, talk to the the FedEx guy, UPS guy. They know everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, go. And don't go alone. Okay.
Yeah, no, I have learned that when you go alone, people don't open the door.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
I even actually kind of wanna I have a goddaughter, because I was watching a video and this guy said go with a kid. They are more likely to open the door. You go with a kid.
I have to borrow one now.
That's true.
Does anybody have a baby for rent?
That's a good business. Good business idea. Rent a baby.
Rent a baby for the day.
Like an Uber
so I can go door knock.
or Airbnb for kids.
Guys, I want to take a picture. Let's smile. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
You're good.
Thank you.
All right, all right. Well, everyone, I think it's about time for us to call it a meeting. Thank you so much, guys, for being here. I get so much value out of these. I'm telling you, I've been in business for so long, but every time I'm here with you guys, I learn something new. So thank you all for being a part of this. And if you have anybody who wants to join us, guys, it's open. Anybody who you think might be good for the team, for the company, or even with someone who might want to get their real estate license, feel free to invite them to these Monday morning meetings. All right. With that being said, let's go ahead and close out with our prayer. Father God, we thank you, Lord, for giving us the opportunity to be here today, Father, and learn from all the experiences that we've collected here, Father. Also, thank you for giving us the opportunity to learn from Robert Kiyosaki, Father, who is also a very successful person, Father, who you've gifted with so many talents. Father, we thank you for allowing us our health, for allowing us the capacity, Father, to look past our dilemmas and our problems in our life, Father, and get past that and become examples for other people who might go through those situations. Father, we pray for the health of our family members, those who might be suffering or ill or in pain. Father, we ask you to relieve their pain, Father, and let your will be done. Father, we also ask you to keep us strong in moments when we are weak and allow us to also help other people who go through the same situations in life. Father, we ask you to bring us back here in good health, Father, in good spirits this time next week. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Thank you, guys.
Amen.
Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care,
Bye.
everyone. Bye-bye.